Kataoka is a man who is currently enjoying his activities at the gym. A gym is a place where people intend to build muscle. Therefore, the gym is a place filled with muscles. That day was exactly 1 week since Kataoka joined a gym near his new residence. His move made Kataoka grateful because every time he went to the gym, Kataoka could see and meet a cute staff member. That day, Kataoka, who was focused on building his body, was greeted by a girl who was a staff member of the gym. The girl just greeted Kataoka and reminded him that if there was something wrong with his equipment, Kataoka could freely call her so they could fix it right away. Kataoka was silent but stared at the girl with a sharp gaze. Of course, the girl, who was confused, then asked why the young man was staring at her. Kataoka was confused when his gaze was noticed. Of course, no one would not be aware when being stared at directly. The girl then reminded him that Kataoka had only joined for a week, but the young man had already noticed the girl this much. The girl was sure there must be something and was very curious about what it was. The girl didn't want to bother. She wanted to help fix it if she could. She was very aware of her responsibility as a gym staff member who had to listen to their customers. Kataoka, who had been silent, then hesitated to speak. He only had a few compliments regarding her physique. Kataoka dared to say honestly that he just thinks it's curious to see such a chubby gym staff member. Instantly, the girl showed a flat expression of embarrassment while saying that she was not chubby. The girl denied it and said that she might not be like the other gym staff members. She was just a little plump. The girl even said that she was willing to explain what really happened to her body, but still insisted that she was not chubby. Kataoka responded that he was willing to listen to the girl's explanation. The girl began to tell that she had worked at the gym for a year, but 3 months ago, she started another job at a steakhouse. At her new workplace, they served very delicious food. The amount of exercise she did just couldn't keep up with how much she ate. It wasn't that she didn't want to, but the girl also had difficulty. The impact even caused customers to doubt their gym because of the girl's appearance. Even so, the girl still often received compliments on the results of her service to customers. Once again, the girl emphasized that she was not chubby. The girl asked again just to confirm to Kataoka that there were no issues experienced by the young man in their gym. Kataoka himself did not have a problem with the facilities or services in the gym. It's just that the young man had his statement about the chubby girl. According to Kataoka, the chubby girl is the best in the world. The girl was confused by the statement made by Kataoka. The young man continued his explanation. He was really serious in his words. According to him, the girl's physique was a little less than ideal for working in the gym, but he tried to talk specifically about the girl's physique. Kataoka began to assess. A big round butt and thick, tight thighs. Large assets that look soft and a tender, slightly bulging tummy. Those are some of the points that most people like about a chubby physique, but one thing that Kataoka likes the most is the arms. The way the torso pushes them makes them look puffy, and the crease around the armpit looks so nice. Kataoka seemed very enthusiastic in expressing his tastes that might not be liked by many others. But Kataoka had high hopes for people to be able to appreciate a chubby woman's charm. Kataoka not only talked about his preferences, but also real examples. The young man gave an example of the depiction of a chubby girl by mentioning Western paintings. So many women are immortalized in the form of pudgy bodies, so that means even world-renowned artists love chubby women. It's a devotion that has transcended throughout history. Chubby girls are a work of art. That's what made the statement that the girl staff member named Sheena looked beautiful in his eyes. Sheena was silent for a moment, and it was the first time for Sheena that someone had ever said something like that to her. Sheena admitted that most people often bothered her by saying how chubby Sheena was, but even so, Sheena remained firm in her determination to deny that she was chubby. Kataoka thanked Sheena. Sheena's presence alone could make Kataoka feel better in going through his day. Kataoka was very enthusiastic to have a good relationship with Sheena. Another day, it's a day for Kataoka basking in the beauty of Sheena. It's been 8 days since Kataoka joined the gym. The young man was very happy that he could find the place because there was Sheena. That day, the two met again. Sheena just found out that Kataoka was new to the neighborhood because the young man had just moved to the area last month due to his job. At the beginning of the young man's move, he immediately started looking for a gym that was close to his residence, and the decision was very grateful for by Kataoka. Their conversation was interrupted when another customer wanted to ask Sheena something. Sheena, who was alert, immediately rushed off and helped her customer. This time, her customer wanted to ask how to use the rotary torso. Sheena then explained about the use of the tool, that the rotary torso is ideal for working out the waist. Although it does look kind of complicated to use at first, Sheena immediately took the role of demonstrating how to use the tool in front of her customers. Sheena demonstrated that the first thing to do is to set the weight with a pin inserted to a certain number, and then what to do is to sit with your back straight. Sheena demonstrated the next step is to press your thighs firmly against the pada, then with your elbows close to your body, you twist your torso as much as you can. If from the start the twist is too sudden, you will most likely end up injured. But once you are used to it, you'll fine-tune your form. Sheena demonstrated it live, which was witnessed not only by the customer who asked for her help, but also by Kadauka. The young man opened his eyes wide and stared at Sheena without blinking. Sheena, who had finished helping the customer, reprimanded Kadauka that if the young man continued to stare at her so intensely, then Sheena would not be able to focus on her work. Kadauka had apologized for his attitude, but he also said that he hoped to continue to be able to see Sheena like that for the rest of her life. Sheena was confused by the words throughout her life that Kadauka said. What the girl caught from Kadauka's words was that the young man wanted to see Sheena working at the gym until Sheena grew old. Of course, that was not what Kadauka meant. The young man then explained the meaning of his words, that he could not take his eyes off the chubby Sheena. Once again, Sheena responded with her signature denial that she was not chubby.